What you up to?
I'm going to organize my books alphabetically
Why? That seems like a lot of work.
because it's relaxing and the outcome will look nice.
But you don't even read.
Hey everyone! I was lying down and I began to think about things I find to be therapeutic or something that scratches the brain in the right place. So here are things I find satisfying. First up is gardening, more specifically, weeding. To keep a garden thriving and not to get overrun, you need to pull out weeds so it stops killing your plants. Also, the best way to pull out a weed is to get it by the roots so that there's no way for them to grow back. Where I live, there's a lot of invasive plants, so whenever I get the chance, I make it my business to eliminate every single weed that I know is bad for the local ecosystem. The satisfying part of this is when you are pulling a weed out of the dirt and all the roots or most of the weed comes out in one pull. This way you don't have to dig to find the rest of it or find it growing back a week later. The benefits are also great as I'm helping the environment and keeping my garden nice. Something else I find satisfying is that when I'm doing a puzzle, the pieces will blindly fit. So a little while ago, I talked about how I like to do jigsaw puzzles, and while I like to work through it and take my time trying to fit all the pieces together, sometimes it's just nice when you place a puzzle piece and it just fits there. No hassle, no flipping or turning the piece, it just fits right as you put it down. I'm not sure what it is, but I was doing a puzzle a couple weeks ago and it was this puzzle with a ton of grass pieces in it. And all the pieces looked the same. I mean, tell me the difference between these two pieces. I spent a good amount of time trying to place pieces that would end up being one of the last pieces of the puzzle. So I just had this surplus of puzzle pieces waiting on the side. So it's extremely satisfying when the pieces would just cooperate and fit right where I placed them. Also, a side note, I saw this puzzle that was just white and had no picture to go off of, so I can tell that that would be very intimidating, but also extremely satisfying when it fits. Well, moving on. Now, this next one takes a long time, but I really like it when games have a catalog system. It's just something in the game for you to fill out, and it's not necessarily something you need to do, but you can if you want. Like in Pokemon games, you have the Pokedex, which in other games would be equivalent to a bestiary. And yeah, you do need to fill it out in order to unlock some special events and get items. But even for those, I find it fun to go look for the holes in my Pokedex. In Stardew Valley, you need to find certain items or grow them and then put them in the shipping box for it to count. Some of them you don't. I think the cooking portion is the hardest for me since I'll have some of the items needed for the recipe because it's in season. But then when I go looking for the other ingredients, I'll realize that it's out of season and I'll need to wait like a whole year for it to come back. But even that is a lot of fun, and I can just make eggs in the meantime. And in Terraria, you don't need to get every single pickaxe or any of the vanity items. But will that stop me from trying to get every single one? Nope. I am currently trying to get every single item I can in this game. Right now I'm working on the pre-hard mode stuff and I can't find a Web Slinger to save my life. Anyways, to me it's fun because it's kind of like you go on a mini quest to find all these catalog items or creatures, and it's especially fun when there's a special way to unlock what you're looking for. Plus, when it's all filled out, it just gives such a, wow, it's done kind of feeling. Another thing I like is sorting or organizing things. One example I can think of is when I organize trading cards I have. I currently have folders for Amiibo cards, Pokemon cards, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It can be a lot of work to organize some of them, but when it's all done, it feels pretty satisfying to look at how neat and organized they look. Recently, I found my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I was actually so excited to file them into a folder. In fact, I made it a reward for finishing one of my videos. I ended up organizing it by monster cards, which I organized by power ranking. Then I organized the trap cards and the spell cards in their own sections. And yes, I did end up finding more cards, so I had to move over some of the cards, but it was still fine because I just find it a lot of fun to see how nice the folders will look. Another example is that I like to alphabetize things like my video games, books, and manga. Fun fact, I used to work part-time in a library, and that was a lot of fun because it's pretty nice to see when all the books are in order, and the feeling of knowing, Yeah, I did that. Plus, doing this makes it easier to find things that you're looking for. And lastly, there's one more thing I'd like to mention, and it's that there's this feeling when I'm drawing that just makes things so easy. Like, it's sort of like you feel as if your hand is going on autopilot, and everything you draw is just with such a comfortable movement. And the drawings you produce is exactly how you wanted it, if not better. So, I know that drawing is like 75% of everything I do in my life. So, for me, I spend a lot of time working on drafts and redoing panels or frames that I think look bad. And yeah, that's just part of the grind, and I'm willing to go through all that in order to get the results I want. But there are just certain moments where the stars align and I'm blessed by the drawing gods to give me an hour or so of time where I'm just absolutely on a roll and I'm thoroughly satisfied with all the work I'm making. It's just an awesome feeling, but the last time it happened, it was pretty late into the night, so it doesn't happen too often. I think a lot of what makes something satisfying for me is how much pride I feel in doing what I'm doing. Like, sure, there's other things I find satisfying, like I really enjoy watching those videos where they make chocolate sculptures, or watching movies where the villain receives the karma they deserve while the hero lives happily ever after. But I guess with these activities, they are things that I accomplish, so there's that added feeling of, I did that. That makes it even more satisfying. So, those are things that I find satisfying. And if you'll excuse me, I'm off to go collect some vanity items. I was thinking about this sort of topic for a while and thought it'd be fun to think more about it. So here's the video! Haha. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. Also, if you guys have anything that you find satisfying, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!